To stay big news that the government has now withdrawn Bharat's High Commissioner. The government has now withdrawn Bharat's High Commissioner to Canada, and it's a big development. And I'm reading the statement that's just come out. Was summoned by the Secretary this evening. He was informed that baseless targeting of the Indian High Commissioner and other diplomats. Okay, he's speaking.
Asking for. Canada has provided credible, irrefutable evidence of ties between agents of the government of India and a murder of a Canadian citizen on Canadian soil. Now it is time for India to live up to what it said it would do and look into those allegations. It is in the interest of both our countries and the peoples of our countries to get to the bottom of this. Canada stands ready to cooperate with India.
It's an unprecedented diplomatic standoff that's happened. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm reading the statement that's come out and it's been put out on the MEA website. The Canadian Charge d'Affaires was summoned by Secretary East this evening. He was informed that the baseless targeting of Indian High Commissioner and other diplomats and officials in Canada was completely unacceptable. It was underlined that in an atmosphere of extremism and violence, the Trudeau government's actions endangered their safety. We have no faith in the current Canadian government's commitment to ensure their security. Therefore, the government of India has decided to withdraw the High Commissioner and other targeted diplomats and officials. It was also conveyed that India reserves the right to take further steps in response to the Trudeau government's support for extremism, violence and separatism against India. A very, very strongly worded statement. These are visuals from earlier. Siddhant should be joining us. This is big news, unprecedented. We'll try and see if we can put that statement of the MEA also on the screen that I was just reading out. Let's go across to Siddhant. Siddhant, this is big. Bharat has taken a very, very serious step. And in the past, Sanjay Kumar Verma, while speaking with us, has said that Indian officials have faced some threats and they have felt unsafe, but the Canadian authorities have cooperated. But now Bharat has said, no, we are withdrawing. We are calling back, deciding to withdraw the High Commissioner and other targeted diplomats and officials. Big step this.
Absolutely, Anand. There was constant threat to Indian diplomats, especially Indian High Commissioner Sanjay Verma, who is posted in Ottawa. In fact, on multiple occasions, at his events, at his public, engagements, the Khalistani groups used to threaten him and used to, stop his way. But this is perhaps the new level of escalation because for the first time, any country which is a strategic partner with the other country has made the High Commissioner of that country a person of interest and the other diplomats in an ongoing investigation. It is very unprecedented, Anand, and perhaps earlier in the day, MEA did issue a very long and very strong statement, perhaps exposing Mr. Trudeau, his lies, his political intentions, and etc. etc. Now, in the evening, Charge d'Affaires was summoned to Ministry of External Affairs' office. He was there inside the ministry for about 25 to 30 minutes. And right after that, MEA comes up with a statement, perhaps making it public that therefore the government of India has decided to withdraw the High Commissioner and other targeted diplomats and officials. It was also conveyed that India reserves the right to take further steps in response to the Trudeau government's support for extremism, violence and separatism against India. Anand, in the past also we have heard from Mr. Jay Shankar that in what kind of atmosphere Indian diplomats and staff are serving in Canada, perhaps offering consular services. But India has never done this before. They have never withdrawn their High Commissioner or other diplomats before. This is perhaps for the first time because of the fresh escalation which has been started by Justin Trudeau, Anand. This decision has been taken and perhaps the same has been conveyed to the Canadian side.
Okay, Siddhant, stay on with us. Zaka Jacob, our managing editor, CNN News 18 with us. Zaka, big move this. Perhaps the strongest action that's been taken. And would you agree if we say that the relationship with Canada is at its all-time nadir?
Low. India has never withdrawn a Canadian High Commissioner or Indian High Commissioner in Canada ever before. So this is in that sense a very, very unprecedented step. And if you look at the MEA statement, it was on the basis of these baseless targeting of the Indian High Commissioner Sanjay Kumar Verma, who's been named as a person of interest. That is as good as saying that he's a suspect in a murder investigation, as well as other diplomats and officials in Canada. This was completely unacceptable to India, and therefore the Stuart Wheeler, who is the charge d'affaires, the highest ranking official of Canada available in Delhi at this time, was summoned to the MEA, and he was conveyed that, look, we are withdrawing our ambassador. It's a huge move, Anand, because the last time India withdrew its High Commissioner or ambassador from any country was in Pakistan. This was in 2019 after the abrogation of Article 370. Both countries had withdrawn their respective High Commissioners. Even at the height of the Devyani Khobrgade episode, that was in 2013, where our diplomat had to be forcibly brought back, the High Commissioners were still very much active. The ambassadors were very much active. So recall of High Commissioners or ambassadors usually happens at a time when countries are at war with each other. So to that extent, and that too, recalling the High Commissioner of a Western country is a very, very unprecedented move. I think the government of India, basically the last straw was what happened in Vientiane at the ASEAN summit just a few days ago. The Prime Minister was there, and there were these reports of Justin Trudeau meeting the Prime Minister, confronting him with new facts, so on and so forth. But fact of the matter is that he made those allegations way back in September of 2023, the Prime Minister of Canada, on the floor of the Canadian Parliament. It's been over a year, and there's been no material evidence that has been provided by the Canadian authorities to substantiate the allegations made by
Well, it is very interesting because the Canadian envoy there, the CDA, Zaka, just now is on record saying that we have submitted detailed evidences to showcase the connection of the Indian High Commission with these elements. That's what they are saying. They claim we have shown detailed evidences, whereas Bharat has said that no evidence has been so far produced, and these are just baseless charges. We've been asking year on year, give us actionable intelligence, and all that's been shared by Canada has been shared with some of the other Five Eyes nations, and there's nothing that's been shown which is concrete when these allegations are made. Ambassador J.K. Tripathi is with us. Ambassador Tripathi, how would you see this big step? Zaka was saying after Pakistan, other than Pakistan, this step has not been taken with any other nation. So is this an
Yes, you are correct. But this, Canadian allegation to Indian High Commissioner there in Ottawa is completely uncalled for and completely unacceptable. No High Commissioner, not at least from India, no Indian High Commissioner or ambassador can put his reputation or his country's reputation at stake by being involved in somebody's case. This is atrocious, and we had been shouting from the rooftop for last more than 1 year that okay, give us evidence, and now after 1 year they come up and say that here is the evidence, which is nothing. So this is, I think this is very good step by Indian government. And next will be that Canadian High Commissioner will also be issued marching orders.
Well, but what does this imply, Ambassador Tripathi? What does this mean?
No, it certainly implies deterioration of the bilateral relations. And because this is the first step is to downgrade the relations by recalling the ambassador or high commissioner. So this is the first stage where Pakistan is also there. With Pakistan also we don't have high commissioner here. They don't have our high commissioner there. Only CDA as well. Same thing is going to happen here. So this is just to show that look, we will not tolerate any unfounded allegation against our people just because some terrorist in your country had been killed. And that too, terrorist is not Canadian citizen. He had Canadian permanent residence.